and welcome back to another video on my channel PokePidge. On Thursday, 9th of January, about 2:30 UK time, we got a trailer, a Pokémon Direct. We got shown the expansion pass to Sword and Shield. Now I must admit, I was in the midst of editing a What Pokémon Game Is Next video, and then this dropped and I was totally wrong, so the video I was making is completely null and void. However, I can still do one on this. We were shown a 20-minute Pokémon Direct, the longest so far, and it was packed with information for us. I mean, just look at a notebook, for example. You know, that isn't notes, that is notes about what I need to write notes about, if that makes sense. These are individual bits of information that they have released to us, new things to talk about, new things to look at. That's going to take ages. So what I'm going to do here is take you through a few screenshots I've taken from the trailer and try and explain some things about them, why they're good, why they're amazing, and just generally why I'm really excited for these expansion passes in June and autumn. I mean, first up we had a few sort of little clips here. They do this a lot, like they make it seem like they've got their noteboard up with loads of pinned pictures on there. But in that little bottom right there, can you see that looks like a Galarian Slowbro? There are a few things on here. Obviously you can see the Venusaur top right and the Blastoise on the right as well. They've got the starters over on the left there, the final evolutions and things like that. There's a little Galarian Slowpoke in there on the right. We'll go through some of them in more detail in a bit. However, just focus on this picture now, the bottom right, that Galarian Slowbro. That wasn't announced in this trailer, that wasn't shown to us in that trailer. So, that's pretty cool. I mean, we pretty much know what it's going to look like now. Yeah, so then we actually get shown Galarian Slowpoke, which is pretty awesome. It's a pure Psychic type. You can actually already catch it on Sword and Shield if you've done the update. I mean, I'm probably going to be running a video now because I did some game capture of this pretty much as soon as the trailer was was dropped, and as soon as I got home I went straight there and got that Galarian Slowpoke. It's a pure Psychic type. It can't evolve yet. You can only evolve it with an item from two of the new areas that you're going to be shown in the trailer, but I'll go into that in a bit more later. So there's that, and a little bit of Galarian Slowking there, I'm assuming, because Slowbro would have something on the tail, Slowking on the head. We'll see more of that one in a bit as well. But yeah, there was also a few bits of clothing introduced to us, which was quite interesting. And specifically this hat, because I'm hoping that this was drawn by a child and not an adult for a start, and I'm hoping it was drawn by someone that sent it into Game Freak for them to use for something, you know, so they've actually used some sort of art from a child at some point, you know. I'm hoping that's what that is. Either way, it's pretty cool. And then we start getting to the bigger bits of this. We've had Gigantamax Charizard, and we're able to use Charmander in this game, and everyone was really annoyed that you couldn't use Bulbasaur and Squirtle, but most Pokemon fans were thinking, just wait, they'll come, and here they are. So this is Gigantamax Venusaur, which is awesome. I mean, look at how those sort of petals are encompassing its entire body. It's got to be a defensive, bulky Pokemon, surely. And if you're wondering what Galarian Blastoise looks like, Gigantamax Blastoise, there it is. Look at all of those cannons on it. Look at the glowing green eyes. I mean, until I see it in game I can't give perfect judgment, but so far I think this has to be one of my favourite Gigantamax forms we've ever seen. This is brilliant. Just, oh, wow. I could look at that all day, but we won't. We'll go on to the next little picture here. The Gigantamax Gala starters, Generation 8 starters of Rillaboom, Cinderace and Inteleon. Here is Rillaboom. Essentially, Rillaboom itself is the same, just longer hair. I suppose its hair is now becoming more arms, so it's got its actual arms and then 6 other arms made of its hair that are playing the rest of the drum kit, which is grown. I mean, you've got the full thing there. You've got your tom-toms, you've got your snare, you've got your hi-hats, cymbals. It's pretty cool. They've actually put this, put a lot of thought into this one. Rillaboom was the, Grookey was the starter I chose first, and I really like Rillaboom. It's actually my favourite of the final starter evolutions. And this is my favourite of these Gigantamax forms for the starters as well. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that Cinderace there. That's pretty cool. It's basically standing on what essentially looks like a sun with eyes. And you can see in the bottom left here, the bottom left there, it's still going to be using Pyro Ball, but it's going to... I assume that's going to be linked with its new G-Max move, because they've all got their own individual G-Max moves. And it's probably just going to kick an entire flaming sun at an opponent. I mean, how awesome is that? That's incredible. I really do like it. You know, much like Rillaboom, its body's not really changed much. You know, it's got a bit more on its hair on the top, and its ears are long. Ears are longer? Are they ears? Yeah, we'll say ears. So it's all right. It looks like it's standing on a slight bit of radish though, but that's that's just the artwork of it. And then going on to Inteleon is interesting. I mean, it looks like its tail has extended. So we've got hair extending, ears extending, and tails extending. The Pokemon themselves in their bodies haven't majorly changed, you know. Inteleon wasn't one of the most popular Pokemon to have been introduced. But it looks like it's got some sort of like sniper and it's on the top of something looking out. I mean, that's a cool concept. But like I said earlier, I prefer Rillaboom to these Gigantamax forms for starters anyway. And there's just a picture of all three of them. You can see more of Inteleon's sort of sniper type inspiration there. It's pretty decent, it's alright. And then we got even more cool things. We've already got Regice, Registeel and Regirock from Generation 3, the Ruby Sapphire Emerald games. And then we got Regigigas in Generation 4, normal type. You can guess Regice is Ice, Regirock Rock, Registeel Steel, obviously. But this looks like an electric Regi. Regielektric? Is that what it's going to be called? It must be, surely, because the others are Regice, Registeel, etc. That's pretty awesome. I can't wait for the final artwork of this to come out, because obviously these aren't finalised. It's going to look pretty similar to this, but it's pretty cool. And we also got another one. Regidragon, I believe it must be. It's got a dragon on its arm. I think these are really good ideas. No one expected more Regis. I would have expected another evolution, that would have been great. We can still hope. But more Regis is something no one expected, and that's pretty cool. I like them. They're interesting. It looks like both arms are two halves of a jaw as well. So at some point, are they going to clamp together and have a complete jaw? I don't know. It does look like though their temple is shared. Like, obviously you've got the yellow and the red here, so each Regi's going to have their own temple because the Regis are going to be in these expansion packs. And it looks like this temple is shared. So are they going to be version exclusive? Are you going to be able to only get the electric Regi in Sword and the Dragon one in Shield maybe? I don't know. I think that's probably what's going to happen, judging by just looking at this this temple here. But we'll see. It was always fun to unlock the Regis. You had to do certain things and use certain moves in certain places and get a Wailord and a Relicanth and use Dig at this point. So I'm hoping they do a similar sort of task here to try and get these Regis, but we'll see. Next clip up was a closer look at the Galarian Slowking. Now I fully believe this is probably going to be a Psychic Ghost type, because that sort of thing clamping its head and the coloration of its cloak underneath is very dark. I mean, it could be Psychic Dark, that'd be interesting as well. But I'm going to go for Psychic Ghost because it looks a bit more wavy. It looks very Spiritomb-y on the top there. And it'd be great if it was linked with Spiritomb rather than Shelder. I think that'd be fantastic. Like a Spiritomb latches on the Slowpoke's head. That'd be pretty cool. But either way, that's what we've got. That's all we've got. We'll get introduced to it soon. But we might not get introduced to it before the games come out. Who knows? The expansions come out. Who knows? I don't know. Even more cool things introduced, and this is just the first isle, I think. No, it's the second isle. But this is Galarian Moltres. Bear with me because Zapdos and Articuno will follow. But it looks like it's going to keep the same typing of flying and fire, because you can't take either of those away from that design, can you really? But wow, look at the coloration change on that. I'm really interested to see what the shiny form of this will be as well. I hope they make it so that the fires are a light blue colour, because I think that would really work with that black. It'd be brilliant. But either way, obviously I said the others were here, and here's the first one, Articuno. Obviously still looks like it's ice flying. I think all these birds are going to keep the same sort of thing there. I don't know what that Japanese writing in the corner is there. If anyone speaks Japanese and they want to let me know, then do leave a comment down below. But my favourite thing about all of this from Articuno is look at where it's using Ice Beam from in its top right picture. It's using Ice Beam from its glowing eyes. Just, how much more incredible do you want that Pokemon to be? It's wow. And of course Zapdos as well. It looks a lot more orange. I'm still going to say this is electric type and flying, obviously. When the clip was introduced in the trailer, there were some zaps around it, some electric bursts. So yeah, I still fully believe it's an electric type of some kind. Longer legs, shorter body. Not too sure what's happening in the top right picture there. Something interesting is happening. And that bottom right there, I don't know what it's firing out of its mouth, but it's something, isn't it? Anyway, we'll see. Might just be its talons, actually. Yeah, ignore that. And then, yeah, there's all three of them together surrounding a tree, which they said later on in the Crown Tundra location to go and explore trees that seem out of place. So I think there's going to be a link between these Galarian form Gen 1 legendary birds and these trees that will be out of place. We won't know till the expansion packs are here, but that's what I'm predicting anyway. And at some point as well, we were introduced to a new legendary Pokemon. I've got more slides on this later. These were just taken from the summary 4-minute video that Pokemon posted on YouTube. But this is called, and I'm going to have to consult my notes here, Urshifu. There's more forms to it later, and we'll go through it later. But yeah, as the longer trailer, the more direct trailer started to give more details, they showed us Mustard. He is going to be your new mentor on this island because there is a dojo there. He also mentored the champion as well. And you can see on his little jacket there, he's got a paw print. That is going to be a paw print of the Pokemon, looking at my notes, Kubfu, which we'll see in a bit. But essentially there is a dojo. I forgot to put a slide in what I'm looking at. I'll try and put a slide in when I edit a video so you've seen it. And yeah, that's Mustard. He's your mentor. He's got not a fighting type, but he's got a battling dojo. You go and battle there and you try and develop everything basically. And Sword is going to have a new rival, Clara. She's going to specialise in poison types. You can actually meet Clara on Sword if you go to Wedgehurst Station to get your Galarian Slowpoke. And then obviously for Shields you have got, forgot his name, what is it? Avery, there he is, there's Avery. He's a poison type specialist. He's going to be your rival on the Island of Armour in Shield. You can also meet him in Wedgehurst Station in Shield if you go there and get your Galarian Slowpoke. And there is Kubfu, the Pokemon I was talking about. Eventually you get given this by Mustard, pretty much. I don't know if it's at the end or if it's partway through so that you can evolve it into Urshifu's, but either way, it's a legendary. I don't think it's an event legendary. I think it's just, or a mythical. It's just a legendary basically. And yeah, this is what it evolves into, Urshifu. It's got two forms. I'm assuming again they're going to make it specific to Sword and Shield. You'll see more of that in a moment. But that is Urshifu, fighting type. And another type. There you go. Fighting Dark and Fighting Water. Single strike style and rapid strike style. Judging by the coloration, I am again predicting that the single strike style is going to be specific to Shield and the rapid strike style is going to be specific to Sword. Just because of the red and the blue there, you know, much like I did with Zamazenta and Zacian, so yeah, Fighting Dark or Fighting Water depending on what form you've got of it. But it's pretty interesting, I like that fact. I like that it's got not a branched evolution, but a sort of form-based branched evolution for Kubfu. It's pretty interesting. It's worth a go. And also, with Isle of Armour, you are going to be getting tutor moves, which is fine, but they include all new moves. Tutor moves are usually special moves for these starters, you know, like Frenzy Plant or something like that, you know, or Fire Pledge. However, they're saying there's going to be all new moves. There's going to be Gen 8 specific moves. I don't know if they're just going to be for the starters, but I assume they'll have some for the starters. Apricorns are going to be able to get. That is a nod back to Generation 2, like right back in the 2000s, 20 years ago, which can be made into Pokeballs. Now, the Pokeball guy was giving you Pokeballs, you know, like the Moon Ball, Level Ball, Lure Ball, you know, all of those throughout your journey, if you spoke to him in the gym in the gyms. So you're going to be able to get Apricorns that you can actually make into those balls yourself specifically. So you're not limited to one per game now. I don't know how many Apricorns you're going to get, if they grow anywhere, I don't know. But there they are. And the most awesome thing there, Experience Charm. So we've got the Shiny Charm, which makes it, which you can get once you've done your Pokedex, and makes shiny Pokemon more likely to appear. Oval Charm, which make Pokemon more likely to appear at the daycare centre, like eggs more likely to appear. Another charm, the Catching Charm, which makes it more likely for critical catches to happen. And now we're getting introduced to the Experience Charm, which is earn more experience points for your team. I mean, if you're trying to evolve and complete the Dex, surely that's good. I'm hoping you don't have to complete the Dex to get it, because then it'll define a point of needing it. However, that's pretty cool, and you can easily get Pokemon up to level 100 with that. So, bring it on. Then we are introduced to the Crown Tundra. And with that, Calyrex, a legendary Pokemon introduced in Generation 8, Psychic Grass type. Very similar to Celebi in its typing, and not sort of appearance anyway. But either way, it looks like it looks brilliant. I mean, its Psychic Grass type completely contradicts one of Urshifu's forms, the Rapid Strike style, which is Fighting Grass, so it's got two type advantages over that. Not the other one though, because it's Psychic Dark. So Urshifu's Dark style can beat Calyrex. I don't know if they're linked, and I don't know if Calyrex is linked to Zacian and Zamazenta. However, it's a completely new legendary. Looks like it's got wings, it floats, it looks like it's got an orb on its head. It's very clever. Maybe got a deer-like origin for its head and face, I don't know, but it's awesome. And then we got introduced to a new co-op mode. This is basically going to be used for legendary Pokemon and their dens, I believe. That's how they were describing it anyway. Because, believe it or not, you can go into dens and battle, try and catch legendary Pokemon. I'm putting a video on the screen now of all the legendary Pokemon you can get. It's basically all catchable legendary Pokemon from every single game previously, except, you know, obviously it's taken out event legendaries and, you know, all of those mythical type Pokemon, but all the rest are basically in there. I mean, I haven't gone through the list in so much detail, but it looked like every single one was available. Wow, every single legendary available. I mean, I'll show you later on about other Pokemon that you can get, but wow. So many legendary Pokemon available now, or will be in June, or you know what I mean, or will be. Just incredible. And with that also came new looks and new clothing. Over 100 new ways to customise your look with clothing items and hairstyles. And that's both Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. Isle of Armor, look, you can dress as Marnie or you can dress as Chairman Rose. I mean, you can dress as a man that's just been convicted and arrested, or you can dress as someone that's really cool in Marnie. I mean, but either way, you can have the hairstyles for everything. That's quite cool. I don't know if you can change the colour of the hair, like if you wanted Marnie with a purple hairstyle, I don't know. But yeah, that'd be cool. I'm going to be using some of those. What I love though is with them came very much a nod to Team Break on the right there. You know, if you've played the Pokemon Masters game. And on the left, a massive sort of nod to X and Y and Team Flare with that there. There's one certain, loads of people in Team Flare use that sort of mark, the glasses there. And I love that they've put that in. I really love that they've put that in. And I'm showing you a short video here, slowed down of course, but you can rotate your camera around and it made it sound like you can do this throughout the whole of those regions. The whole of those areas of the Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor. It sounded like you can do what you do in the wild area and have your camera rotate round you like you do in... I really hope that's the case for the whole of the area. And if it is the case, it might be where Game Freak are going with the Pokemon games in the future. I hope so. But I think that's pretty cool. Surely. That's just gotta be. And there are new Max Raid dens all around the place, as shown by this picture here. These popped up a lot during this trailer. I just picked one example, but it looks like we're going to be having those in a lot of places. Wild grass there as well, so it's basically an extension of the wild area in certain places, and the wild area has gone down really well, especially with me and especially with the fan base, so more of that the better. And this is what I was talking about earlier. 200 well-known Pokemon from past entries will appear between the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. 200 more. We've already got 400, so now we're going to be going to over 600. And bear in mind we've got 900 Pokemon at the moment-ish. So that's going to be over 2/3 of the Pokedex is able to catch in these games. There's still going to be fans out there that are annoyed that the National Dex isn't in it. But every single one of the people that are fine with it are being like, be patient, they'll introduce them, and they're introducing 200 more in these expansion packs. Surely that's got to appease some of the backlash from it, surely, because these games are worth it, and these expansion packs are going to be worth having 200 more Pokemon to catch. I can't wait for that. And what's good is, if you don't have the expansion pass and someone else does, you can still trade between them. So if you haven't got the expansion pass, you update your Switch, you can still get, like, for example, Nidorino over to yours from someone else that's already got it. So you can get them. It is available. I don't know if the online play for Max Raid Battles and joining in is going to work with Pokemon from the Isle of Armor or Crown Tundra, like if you go over there and you get a Nidorino in a Max Raid battle and you go online. I don't know if that's going to be just specific to the people that have got the expansion passes or for everyone. Like if I'm just a regular Fred Smith just running around the wild area and sees a Nidorino Max Raid battle, you can join and you can. I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope so. I hope they're going to do the same with that, but we shall see anyway. We shall see. And of course we've got confirmation on Pokemon Home. So let's go and bank into Home and they can go to Sword and Shield. I mean, we expected that, they've already told us that. And the good thing about that is that it's coming in February 2020. February 2020. So as I'm recording this, it's next month. I'm going to be getting it. It's a paid service, but Pokemon Bank was a paid service, but that was like £3 or £4 a year. So it was literally the cost of a pint down the pub per year. So I don't know, we'll have a look to see how much this is. If it's expensive, I might have to wait a minute. But if it's around that sort of price-ish, if it's a single figure for a year again, then absolutely going to be using that. But that is basically it. They are the screenshots from the trailer. I don't know how long I've been yakking on for. But as you can tell, there is so much in there to talk about that I couldn't do an overall video summing up everything. I'm just giving you my thoughts on what we've seen from that Pokemon Direct. I'm going to go into these in some more detail in the next few weeks, months even, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go into them in a bit more detail, try and have a look, research them a bit more. But I wanted to get this out to you so you knew what I thought of it. And also I didn't have a video today because, like I said, I was editing a video called What Game Is Next and I was totally wrong. I thought it was going to be Diamond Pearl remakes, and then they announced there was a trailer. I thought, right, well I'll wait a minute, see what they say, and then they announced something completely different, so my video editing was completely null and void. But I'll save that for another time. Either way, for this video, those were my thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed it. Go watch the Pokemon Direct if you want to. I'll put the links in the description below. But that's it from me for now. So, until next time, I shall see you guys later.